Gautam Buddha always used to deliver teachings at the right time. He never arrived late, and his presence never made anyone wait. But today, for the first time, his disciples had been waiting for quite some time. However, Buddha had not yet arrived at the preaching assembly, and while discussing amongst themselves, they speculated that perhaps something important had come up for Lord Buddha today. Otherwise, he always arrives on time. The disciples were discussing this when suddenly Gautam Buddha appeared holding a lotus flower in his hand. He reached there and sat down under a tree on a cushion placed there. Around 500 disciples were present in the ashram, waiting to listen to his teachings. Apart from these 500 disciples, there was one more person in the ashram named Mahakashyap. Other disciples in the ashram considered Mahakashyap to be crazy, as he never listened to Buddha's teachings whenever he sat down with them. He had never practiced meditation or made any attempt to meditate. He would sit quietly under a tree in the ashram all day, not talking to anyone, nor did anyone go to talk to him. Whenever he felt like it, he would go to the nearby villages to beg for alms, eat whatever he received, and then return to sit under the same tree. He would observe the ashram's trees, scattered leaves, grass, and passing monks with a deep focus. Everyone believed he wasn't a religious person. All the monks in the ashram thought Mahakashyap was crazy and foolish, as nobody could teach him anything. On this day, Gautam Buddha arrived and took his seat. As he sat down, he began to gaze at the lotus flower he held in his hand. The disciples were waiting for Buddha to say something, but he remained silent. He continued to gaze at the lotus flower without uttering a word. The disciples became increasingly restless, waiting and growing impatient. Suddenly, from behind the seated monks, a burst of laughter erupted. It was Mahakashyap, who was laughing heartily while looking at Buddha. For years, people had never seen him laugh. His laughter was so unusual and wonderful. It seemed as if the entire universe was laughing with him. His powerful laughter echoed throughout the ashram, and he couldn't stop laughing. When Mahakashyap saw Buddha's gaze, he laughed even harder. It was the first time people had seen him laugh, and it was a miraculous sight. After a while, Mahakashyap stopped laughing. Buddha removed his gaze from the lotus flower and looked at the monks sitting there. He said, "Everything that I could have conveyed to you through words, I have already done so. What cannot be conveyed through words, I have given to Mahakashyap. The tradition starts from here." Zen is a Sanskrit word that means meditation. Gautam Buddha taught the world meditation, and then Bodhidharma took this meditation to China, where it became known as Zen. From China, this tradition spread to Japan, Korea, and many countries in Southeast Asia. Zen is an extraordinary way of attaining self-knowledge. There is no specific technique, no teachings, no scriptures, and no definite method to practice. You just have to close your eyes and sit, waiting. Eventually, the event will happen within you, sooner or later. There is no fixed methodology for meditation in these traditions. You simply need to be alert and observe the thoughts arising in your mind. You don't need to get entangled in those thoughts, just watch them. A thought will arise, and then it will disappear on its own. You need to keep observing it with complete awareness. When you watch a rising thought with full awareness, and then it disappears, you will find that the next thought won't arise as swiftly. This happens because as you start focusing your attention on the thoughts in your mind, the mind's activity slows down, and it begins to calm. Eventually, you'll reach a state where there are no more thoughts. This state of thoughtlessness is true consciousness. Initially, this state of thoughtlessness won't last for long. It might only last for 10 to 15 seconds, as our minds are accustomed to constant thinking over the years. However, with continuous effort, the duration of this state of thoughtlessness will increase. The more you practice, the more you'll understand Zen, meditation, and you'll come closer to yourself.
This is Inspired Wisdom. Thanks for watching and stay focused.